roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, from the BEA beautiful studios of Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com. We're on the line with our new best friend on Yemen, Susanne Dahlgren. She's a PhD in anthropology from the University of Helsinki, got all kinds of little initials after her name. She's helping us out. Understand what's up, because this is what my concern is. We don't really understand what's going on other than what the talking heads on cable news say is going on, but it becomes obvious over time. Let me give you just a little bit of statistics here, some news. Now, this is from the New York Times, an article, Saudi Arabia scrambles to limit region's upheaval. And when's this dated? This is May 27th. Now, they're talking about the kingdom is aggressive. This is talking about the kingdom of Saud, the Saudi Arabian government. The kingdom is aggressively emphasizing the relative stability of monarchies, part of an effort to avert any drastic shift from the authoritarian model, which would generate uncomfortable questions about the pace of political and social change at home. You know, like women get to drive kind of thing. Saudi Arabia's proposal to include Jordan and Morocco in the 6-member Gulf Cooperation Council, this is the GCC they keep talking about, which authorized, because kind of like NATO telling Obama what we're authorized to do or going to do, whatever. So you have the GCC Council, the Gulf Cooperation Council, which authorized the Saudis to send in troops to quell a largely Shiite Muslim rebellion in the Sunni Muslim monarchy of Bahrain. Now, we had people on the streets in Bahrain. What was going on? Well, you got the Fifth Fleet there, so you know the United States, we side with whoever's going to let our Fifth Fleet be there, and guarantee you that. So here you only have like 1.2 million people in an island off the coast of Saudi Arabia, and it's like 10 times the size of Manhattan or something, and it's not that big. But it's important to the boys. Well, the boys want stability, and we get our naval base here, and who's in charge? Well, Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, UAE, what do? They send in troops and police. And based on what? Because they can. The Shiite Muslim rebellion in the Sunni Muslim monarchy of Bahrain is intended to create a kind of club of kings. The idea is to signal to Shiite Iran that the Sunni Arab monarchs will defend their interests. They're sending the message that monarchies are not, going to be challenged. Now, I have to ask Susanne, help me out here. This is it really, when they say Sunni Shiite, they're going after each other. Is that saying, Saudi versus Iran? Why does Iran keep getting pulled into this? Are they really that involved in these uprisings?
Not at all, no. For instance, in Bahrain, there was no link of Iran there. So it was popular protests in the streets which Saudi Arabia sent troops to crush.
So why are they... So is Bahrain really seen like, just another state of Saudi Arabia? I mean, who's really in control of the Arabian Peninsula there? Who's running things? It seems like we got a ruckus being stirred up in Syria. You know, Jordan's going to have problems. Yemen's going to have problems. You know, they're going to replace whatever regimes they got there, and the head, I'm in charge, uniform wearing, shiny badge, having individual with a gun that says, I rule all these people here, and they're going to put a new face. They're going to a new guy. They'll put the military in there. Oh, we're neutral. Yeah, we're on the people's side. We're not going to start shooting them just yet. We'll just, give us a minute. We'll have a new face and with a shiny tie. And, by the way, he'll use a Droid or a BlackBerry and be all hip and young and pretty. It might even be a woman. What the heck? Or got a good-looking girl on his side. And they just change who's ruling them, and nothing really changes. So I'm wondering, who is behind all of this? Is it Saudi Arabia? Is it the United States? Britain? Who is the engine behind all of this ruckus?
But obviously the USA and Britain simply want stability in the area. And they are using Saudi Arabia to act as the sort of local police force to put these countries in order. Because obviously it's the question of oil and strategic interests and all these old stories that come in the picture.
So it's money. So, it's just we don't want anybody messing with our flow of cash.
Yes.
All right. Well, the people, how sophisticated are they in their understanding of geopolitics? Do they realize the influences that are coming from other countries outside of the Middle East, or are they just dealing with the problems in front of their face and I can't afford food?
Well, people are very much aware of the strategic politics of the region, and obviously they are watching satellite TV and different channels. So there's nothing can be sort of kept away from these people.
One quote out of the New York Times article, it said, the strained Saudi posture towards Washington was outlined in a recent opinion article by Nawaf Abaid, a Saudi analyst, in the Washington Post that suggested Riyadh, capital Saudi Arabia, was ready to go it alone because the United States had become an unreliable partner. Is that even possible? Is Saudi Arabia, can they, do they feel like they are autonomous enough? They got enough invested in the United States? They own enough treasuries? They control Congress enough or something that they can go it alone and do what they want? Is that true?
Well, obviously the Saudi ruling family is worried that one day maybe U.S. Will leave them and sort of cut this strategic cooperation between the countries.
Well, are they afraid of it or do they want it? Are they looking forward to it or do they fear it?
No, they fear it because they rely on the military aid that comes from the USA, so they are dependent on that.
Okay, so what kind of army does Saudi Arabia have? We hear they send in troops into Bahrain. Do they really have an army? And how big is it? And can they rely on it?
They do have an army, yes, of course, and the army is keeping the order inside the country too. So they have some extra troops to be sent to these other neighboring countries.
Well, I'm wondering, I'm sure they got some guys in uniform and take down, protesters kind of deal, but are they able to go up against someone like Iran? Who is the defense against the perceived threat of Iran? And I'm wondering what the threat is of Iran. Heck, Iran's Persian, man. They're not even Arabic. Are they really that much of a threat? Or is it just the sectarian stuff going on? The different denomination of Islam, they're going, yeah, well, these guys, wrap their turbans from left to right, and these ones do from right to left, or just some stupid thing like that, they create this imaginary difference. What is the difference culturally, and why is Iran always seen as the threat? Is it because they're not under Western control enough? Or is it because they really represent some kind of physical threat to the rest of the Middle East? What is the contention with Iran?
Well, obviously, Iran is the enemy of the U.S. And Israel. So these are the...
Why?
Because Iran is the only country basically who sort of really opposes Israel currently.
In what way? Opposes them with rhetoric, or they threaten to wipe them off the face of the planet? I hear this, and there's a real threat, maybe. I don't know how real it is, but certainly it's voiced a lot as we go into the 2012 presidential campaign here in America, that they're going, Israel, they're worried, they may go it alone. They may go bomb Iran all by their lonesome. And I'm going, okay, they want to play that game. And I'm wondering, is that really considered a threat in the Middle East or by Iran or the opinion of the other Arabic countries that they think that Israel may attack Iran?
Yeah, well, I think that this threat is not there really right now. It's an option that in the future it might be that Iran has such a military capacity to strike Israel. But then the problem is that Iran cannot strike Israel because immediately the whole country would be destroyed. So and they know that. So in that sense, it's not at all any threat.
So, last question. What can we expect in Yemen? Is there going to be a change in government, a change in philosophy? What do the people have to look forward to there?
people want to get rid of the corrupted rule. They want to have people's power. So that's in simple.
You know what? We may tap on you in the future to try and help us understand as the news amps up in Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Syria, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates. It just goes on and on and on. And my only question is, am I allowed not to care? Well, they want me to care. Well, I want to at least understand it, so maybe I can justify ignoring it, and we can worry about America. Thanks to Susanne Dahlgren from Helsinki coming on. And right back, and we're going to talk about the GOP debate last night. We had a debate party here. We'll be right back. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.